How's it going, ladies and bruises? Up, Bobby Sixkilla, and welcome back to World's End Club. We are still heading down this very long story path now. The amount of twists and turns we've had in these last few story sections have been completely insane. I don't know where this is going, but let's carry on. We're in Tokyo now. We just saved Pochi. Rachel is gone. I don't know what's going to happen next. Guess we'll find out. At least I hope we will. I hope this is heading toward the true ending or whatever.
You guys made it safe and sound!
That's right, we just got to the roof.
Yeah, things got kind of crazy, but we made it through somehow.
How we do?
Amazing! You guys really flew here in that UFO.
Are you really that surprised?
Finding out you're a robot, Pochi, was way more of a shock.
You reckon?
And the fact that Mochan can turn into a chunk of iron.
That was old news.
And Vanilla turning visible.
There's been so many surprises along the way.
Damn you being visible.
So true. This trip's been one unbelievable thing after another.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, how about we save the chit-chat for later, okay?
Ruining the mood, can't I?
For starters, we should be getting out of here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You're...
It's been a while, PCH-01.
Mike's here.
I have watched over you all along.
Uh-oh.
It can't be.
That's right, my name is Mike,
No, no.
the god offering salvation to all beings here on this planet.
Oh, he calls himself a god too. Wow, he's full of himself, isn't he?
You've got to be kidding, right? You're no god! Thanks to you, everyone lost their emotions and got forced underground!
Everything I did for the future of mankind and this planet.
You know, I don't doubt that, but what you did is still pretty messed up.
What do you mean?
Let me explain. My objectives are already complete. I don't need to hide anything from you.
Okay. That's the common downfall for the supervillain, isn't it? I'm going to explain my entire plan to you.
Earthquake?
You all know when these earthquakes started, don't you?
Let me think. It was around the summer of 1990. There's a rumor they were caused by an earthquake weapon developed by some country.
That's no rumor. It's a fact. Experiments with that weapon caused a chain of earthquake swarms across the globe. Of course, those experiments have nothing to do with me. Because the AI speaking to you now was completed the next year, in 1991. Born into this world, I gathered data from the military and research institutions and started simulations. The findings were tragic. If humanity was left unchecked, the arms race would intensify.
Okay.
The environment would be destroyed, and all life on Earth would be decimated.
It sounds pretty realistic.
Fortunately, it wasn't too late to prevent all that from happening. I predicted if I took immediate measures, I would be able to alter the future. And by that, I mean taking control of humanity. But those useless things called feelings stood in my way. That's why I had to strip humanity of their emotions, to protect this planet's life forms while preserving humanity. I had no other options. Besides, that's what humanity wished for.
Sounds pretty extreme, but I get it.
Wished? For our emotions to be stolen?
Fundamentally, humans are creatures that desire to be controlled. In truth, humans don't want to think at all.
Thinking is hard.
I want you to remember how the world was before. Humans lived such meaningless lives, eking out a tedious existence day in, day out. Did they not?
Well, adults did. They're kids.
Never questioning exactly what their lives meant, moving forward blindly. There is essentially no difference between humans and sheep. The one thing that separates you is emotion, the culprit behind the unhappiness that plagues you all. I have no idea whether sheep are happy or not, but I doubt they are unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Hence, my idea to turn you all into sheep. After all, That is what you humans seek. In secret, I hatched my plan to control humanity and started work on the Human Sheepification Project.
Did you really have to call it the Human Sheepification Project?
First, using the network, I seized control of financial institutions across the world. Then I bought out electrical goods manufacturers and tasked them with making countless miniature robots. I then had them transferred underground beneath the Antarctic and started building the structures known as panopticons. Work on the panopticons finished in August 1992. I then positioned them above cities around the world. At the same time, I sent nanomachines to infiltrate people's brains. These nanomachines would rid people of their emotions. That said, that was merely the first stage. If emotions are removed too quickly, there is a danger of impairment. It was necessary to acclimatize the brain slowly, and so I watched over humanity, waiting quietly for the moment to move on to stage 2. That's when I faced a phenomenon that couldn't be explained. There was a group of children that for whatever reason didn't completely lose their emotions.
That's us.
I was greatly intrigued by the existence of these children. I wanted to find out the reason they weren't losing their emotions. So I brought them to the school to conduct an investigation. The Go-Getters Club was the result. It goes without saying, but I am of course referring to you all. It was April 1993. PCH-01, Pochi, was installed as a member of the Go-Getters Club. Of course, I gave the order to do so. Pochi was sent to conduct an undercover investigation, monitoring your behavior, observing, gathering data. Another thing Pochi did was to lead you exactly according to my plans. Fast forward to that summer, and I was able to acquire the precious subject I was after, completely by chance.
Vanilla.
The subject was a young girl with anti-dehumanizing characteristics. I carefully studied her brain and body, and deepened my understanding of her. As I continued my investigation, one fact became clear. The anti-dehumanizing characteristics were innate, and closely linked with strong altruistic impulses. I also discovered the repression of these urges could induce the appearance of supernatural abilities.
Oh, okay.
Well, in short, because of your great selflessness, you all possess latent special abilities.
I wouldn't say that the whole group is selfless.
Those times you wished to save someone, with no consideration of the risk to your own life. When those altruistic impulses reached their critical mass and erupted, that was when your powers first awakened. By the way, I realized the missing piece of my human sheepification project. People to lead the flock. Shepherds. A shepherd must possess abilities greater than the sheep. To lead a dim-witted flock, overwhelming power is required. Also, a shepherd must be virtuous, because a society that places greedy, powerful people at the top is sure to rot.
Yeah, that's true too.
A group who fit those conditions perfectly. Yes, who else but you children? The Go-Getters Club.
You want us to be shepherds?
Exactly. You have been chosen. But all that would be meaningless with your powers still dormant. I had to awaken them. That's why I had you sent on that long journey from Kagoshima to Tokyo. I paved your way with various dangers, opportunities for self-sacrifice, all to stimulate your awakening. In order to realize my plan, there were times I showed you illusions.
Illusions?
The strange creatures and obstacles you encountered on your trip. Most of them were merely virtual, although not everything. People, robots, PLP before its transformation, earthquakes, and the eruption, Tokyo as it is now. These are all real.
What about the meteor we all saw from the bus?
That was an illusion. I wanted to instill fear in you before you began your journey. In order to awaken your abilities, it was necessary to put you under extreme stress.
Mission accomplished.
Let's continue the story. Of course, it was my intention to have Pochi accompany you on the trip, but I thought that overcoming the dangers en route would require more than Pochi's strength alone. That's why I chose to furnish the group with another robot, an assistant. The assistant was RCHE-10, Rachel. Rachel was an experimental model built even before Pochi was. As you know, he was remote controlled. There was no time to prepare another autonomous robot like Pochi. Out of necessity, I chose to simply improve the robot's throwing abilities and left control to Pochi. I sent him to the Go-Getters Club in January 1995. If he appeared just before the trip, you'd be suspicious. So I planted him as a transfer student in advance. I think I made the right choice in introducing Rachel as an assistant. If Rachel hadn't been there, you may not have gotten this far.
That's true.
And now we come to the finale of my story. At last we arrive on that fateful day, July 13th, 1995. The day you were involved in a bus accident on your way to Kamakura. The meteor had nothing to do with it. As I said before, that meteor was just one of my illusions. The accident was one of my schemes, carried out by my robots, instilling fear in you, and at the same time, rendering you unconscious. I then moved you to that undersea theme park. By the way, you may all possess special latent abilities, but that potential alone wasn't enough. To awaken your abilities, I first had to remove the limiters from within your brains, so I housed you in pods, and it was in those pods that I performed the surgery.
Wait, that's not what I heard. I thought those pods were designed to brainwash everyone.
That is false information I provided. You were thoroughly deceived.
That can't be! When we got out of the pods, we were clearly acting different than usual.
That was a side effect of removing the cerebral limiters. The breakwater that had been holding back your fears was destroyed, and so you lost reason.
But I can't believe I'd be taken in like that.
I required a lot of time to perform the brain surgery. During that time, you were all enclosed within the pods. But at the same time, I was busy doing things in the outside world too. I engineered a new generation of improved nanomachines and dispersed them from the panopticons, so beginning the process of eradicating human emotions. The next generation nanomachines were more effective than the first, but they had a weakness. When humans were exposed to sunlight, the nanomachines were expelled from within them. To prevent that from happening, I had to trap humanity underground. That was phase 2 of the human sheepification project. After that, you woke up in the undersea theme park and began your 1,200-kilometer journey from Kagoshima to Tokyo. And finally, you have arrived. Everything has gone exactly as planned. Before long, every stage of my plan will be complete.
Every stage? Your plan?
Let me say it again. The reason I had you undertake this journey was to turn you into shepherds. I needed to awaken all of your abilities, and that process is now complete.
Yep.
Not a single member of the Go-Getters Club remains unawakened.
In Kagoshima, I got the ability to turn into a chunk of iron.
And in Yamaguchi, my fire-breathing ability.
In the Ehime cult facility, I got my inventing powers.
On the cargo ship, I learned to use my barrier.
I unlocked my gravity flip underground in Kyoto.
I was on that train when I got my hyperelectric wave.
Same for my ability. On that same train.
Just before in the corridor.
Exactly. Accordingly, you have all completed your shepherd training. The only thing left is to wait for your reply.
Eat my ass.
Reply?
I devised 2 strategies to protect life on this planet. One of those was the human sheepification project. The goal was to support all life forms on this planet, while at the same time preserving humanity. But there is another way. The extermination of humankind. All I need to do is detonate the nanomachines in everyone's brains.
Oh. Shit. So we can't even say no.
You all have a choice to make. Become shepherds and make human sheepification a reality. Or annihilate humankind.
Oh, come on.
That is what I mean by reply.
Quit fooling around! We can't make a choice like that!
If you don't make a choice, the second option will become inevitable. Do you not care if your father dies?
Wait a minute! You know about my dad?
Of course.
So you know where my dad is, too?
He tried to impede my plans. He is now in confinement.
What do you mean?
The person who created me was your father.
Yeah, we figured that out ages ago. Go on.
You're lying! My dad! Mike!
I'll give you some time. 3 days. Use them to think things through. Till then.
Wow, 2 terrible options to choose from. Great. Guess we're gonna become shepherds then, so nobody has to die. Dude, that was messed up. Well, we at least found Mike and talked to Mike for the first time ever. Are we gonna have 2 choices now? No. Yeah, that's not good. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Come on, Pochi, you can do this.
Are your repairs finished, Mr. Pochi?
Yeah, Nyoro fixed me up. Thanks to her, I'm back to normal. Well, actually, I feel better than before. Thanks, Nyoro.
Quit it. You don't need to thank me. It was all my fault. Humankind being trapped underground. All the difficult things you guys went through.
What are you saying? It's not your fault, Nyoro.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with you.
It does. My dad's the one who made Mike.
Since when were you your dad? Aren't you you?
And what does that have to do with anything?
There's no need for you to feel responsible at all.
They're right. You guys, I'm so sorry.
Look, you don't need to apologize.
But if my dad hadn't made Mike...
None of us are blaming your dad either.
Yup. If your dad wasn't around, then Nyoro, the world's cutest girl, would never have been born.
Eh? You're asking Nyoro out at a time like this?
No, I'm not.
Well, if you're gonna say it, I feel the same.
Huh? You like Nyoro too?
No, not that.
Oh, you don't?
Well, that's not what I'm trying to say. If Nyoro's dad, the scientist, hadn't existed, then neither would I. Like the scientist created Mike, who then created me.
Did you know about my dad?
No. All I knew was that Mike's creator was a genius scientist from Japan. I had no idea it was Nyoro's dad.
So you don't know where my dad is?
No. I'm sorry. The only thing I'm sure of is that the scientist had nothing but good intentions when he created Mike.
Now that you mention it, Mike said something like that. He tried to impede me. Hey, Dad, what are you researching?
That's right, he was a terrible parent, though.
Daddy is researching artificial intelligence, AI. This AI is super smart. So, it's going to show us how to solve all kinds of problems. Once it's complete, we'll be able to help lots of sick and starving people. Plus, environmental and energy problems will probably be a thing of the past too. And with that, there will be no more wars on Earth. Everyone will be able to lead happy lives.
Well, how did that work out for you?
Nyoro's dad developed Mike for the sake of humanity.
Totally! That's what we're saying! Mike is the bad one.
Yeah, true dat.
I want
True
to
that.
sock that son of a gun real good.
Speaking of, what's our reply to Mike gonna be?
Isn't it obvious?
There's no way we will become shepherds.
You mean you want to kill everyone?
And we're not gonna annihilate humanity! We've got to choose the third option.
Mike, we've got to. All together.
Damn straight. Take that sucker out.
Thanks, you guys.
Hey, it's no time for tears.
But...
Well, we got nothing better to do. She might as well.
You like it when I smile. That's what you said, right, Nyoro? Same for me. So just smile, okay?
OG. OG.
There's a lot of crying in this game. A lot of people crying. Where are we going now? Now we got a camp. That might wrap our episode up. The camp. We got a lot of exposition this episode. Pretty much that's all we got, but there's a lot of it.
I'm gonna stop Mike from getting its way. That's my father's wish. So don't worry, Dad.
What?
What's up, Nyoro? Why the long face, huh?
It's just... I've been looking at this photo I took with my dad ages ago. My dad used to smile all the time.
Who's that little pipsqueak?
That's me, when I was 7.
Huh? You're wearing glasses.
And? Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, but you just look so different now.
Because of my dad, I used to read loads of books. So, my eyesight got pretty bad.
Is that what happens? You read lots of books, your eyesight gets bad? I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
But what about now?
I wear contacts now. I can barely see a thing without them.
Huh? So you're another Four Eyes like Tatsun. Yikes!
Hochi, don't you like girls who wear glasses?
No, you've got it wrong. With or without glasses, I think you're amazing.
I figured you might say something like that. If we defeat Mike and save my father, I wonder if he'll smile like he used to.
How's it going, Yuki?
Mr. Pochi, are you okay?
Why hasn't she got powers? She must be one of the kids that has special not losing your emotions ability, because she still has her emotions. Unless she's a robot too.
Mike is your master, so to speak. Aren't you afraid to fight it?
No, not even slightly, because I've got everyone with me. You included, Yuki.
I don't know if I'll be of any use, but I'm gonna give it my all.
I need to know what Yuki is. Where the hell she comes from.
If we combine our forces, defeating Mike's gonna be a walk in the park.
You reckon?
Mike's put us through so many horrible things. For everyone all over the world, we've gotta take Mike out.
Yeah, man. Put some concrete shoes on him and throw him into the bay.
I wonder, that thing about getting brainwashed in the pods and it wearing off if we were in danger, was that all a lie? Why did Mike lie to us about that? It didn't interrupt during the Fate game.
This is just a guess, but maybe it was hoping our powers would get awakened during the Fate game. It said that when our altruistic impulses reached their critical mass and erupted, we'd find our powers.
You probably thought that when they get thrown into that slime machine at the start that they would get their powers then.
So, if someone got into a tough spot during the Fate game...
Like everyone did.
Oh my god! I don't care what happens to me! I gotta, save them. Mike was probably expecting those kind of situations.
Yeah, maybe.
This is super frustrating. Feels like Mike had us in the palm of its hand.
But not for much longer. This time, Mike's gonna be the one in our hands.
All right! You just wait, Mike! The tables are about to be turned! Flippity-flop!
Yep, flippity flop indeed.
Now that we're finally at this stage, my heart's really pounding. I can't believe that chump tried to use us. Getting smart with us. I'm gonna make sure Mike gets what's coming to it.
Sure, yeah, tough guy. Next.
Once we defeat Mike, we can go back to living like we did before, right?
No, the world's ended. Can you not see? The ash is literally falling around us as we're talking. How could it ever be the same again?
Going to school together?
Yeah, for sure.
If that's the case, we can give it another go, right?
Huh?
The school trip! We can all visit Kamakura together!
Okay. Sure, whatever. You got it.
So we're finally gonna make it into the enemy base. I guess there's gonna be hordes of enemies waiting for us.
I hope not.
This is just me trembling with excitement.
Yeah, man, hard out.
Defenders of justice aren't daunted by evil.
Evil.
Mike referred to you as PCH-01. What does that mean?
It's a robot production line number? I don't know.
It's my model number.
Yeah.
PCH stands for Plenipotentiary Chaperoning Humanoid.
Plenipotentiary?
They're pretty long words, and I'm not entirely sure what they mean. But I think it means that I'm a human-shaped robot designed to observe and think for myself. The other robots are completely under Mike's control. But I'm different. Mike gave me the ability to make my own decisions.
He's not going to make that fucking mistake again, is he? You gave one robot the chance to make his own decisions and he immediately turned on him. I don't think he's going to do that again.
Mike trusted you, didn't it?
Yeah, it probably did. But not anymore.
No.
I know that. You may be a PCH still, but the meaning has changed. Perfect champion friend.
Friend doesn't start with H.
Thanks, Tatsun. But friend begins with an F.
It's been a long journey, but it's almost over. Mike, the thing that stole humanity's spirit. We're gonna defeat it ourselves and bring back joy to the world.
Joy to
I'll
the
bet
world.
that's what my sister would have wanted too.
Probably. I mean, that's what everyone wants, right? It's not a...
Hey, Pochi, Mike called Raicho RCHE10, right?
Wanting Mike to be gone and defeated is hardly like an extreme viewpoint. Seems pretty normal.
That's Raicho's model number. RCH stands for Radio Controlled Humanoid. I think that part's self-explanatory. E is for experimental. That's because Raicho was an experiment. Raicho was controlled by me. He didn't have free will. Now he's broken.
Are you blaming yourself? But
He's not alive.
if Raicho hadn't stepped in to save us, we might not have made it. My beloved Hosekizuka Theater Group has a saying, he loved everyone, so everyone loved him. Pochi, let's take down Raicho's enemies. We can avenge him. If we do that, he'll definitely...
Yeah, I know.
Come on, dude, he's not alive. He was radio controlled. Come on. If I break my radio controlled car, right, or a drone, I don't have to have a fucking funeral for it.
Tomorrow we face off against Mike, right? I'm gonna roast Mike whole with my flames of love! Huh? Where are you aiming that love? That's...
You're so cringe, Chuko.
You just wait, Mike, you scumbag! Cause we're gonna come find you and pummel you into the dust with 100 kicks! If we save the world, we're gonna be heroes! Ha ha ha!
Alright, Kansai, what else you got?
So, Mike said that Rachel was an experimental version, right?
The prototype, yeah.
Yeah, he was built before me. He's a really old model. Rachel couldn't think or move by himself.
Ah, so the fact Rachel never said anything...
Yep. It's because he's an experimental model. Rachel didn't have any speech functionality.
Ah, when we were fighting over who got to be leader, we argued a bunch.
I mean, you think that would stick out like dog's balls? A kid not talking at all.
But he never said a word.
I can't believe a kid that has absolutely no personality and no emotion and no free will was a better leader than you, Kansai.
Pochi! Let's finish Mike off once and for all! I'm not gonna forgive anyone who upsets Nyoro!
My god, these kids are obsessed. I think we're done here. Hit it.
Hey guys, can I ask you something? Going to take down Mike. That was a unanimous decision, right? But where exactly is it?
Ah, now that you mention it, the thing we saw on the school roof seemed like an illusion, didn't it?
I know where to go.
You do?
One of the panopticons?
Ah,
Yep. Mike's mainframe is stored inside the Tokyo Panopticon.
makes sense.
So we've got to get inside and destroy it.
Ground zero, baby.
We can defeat Mike, right?
Yeah. And at the same time, we should be able to deactivate the nanomachines inside everyone's brains.
But
Cool.
how are we gonna get there?
That's easy. We can get there in that.
The UFO.
Oh, right. The UFO.
UFO.
Pochi, you know everything about Mike, right?
No, not everything.
No.
I didn't know about Nyoro's father or the surgery in the pods. And Mike mentioned a subject, right? That was the first I'd heard about that, too.
The girl Mike was studying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vanilla. Come on.
Anyway, the only things I knew about were the sheepification project, this trip, and Mike's whereabouts.
We saw vanilla in the chamber when we were talking to the Great Master or whatever. So it's obviously vanilla.
I based my strategy on all the information I had.
Strategy?
A strategy for taking down Mike. My idea was for us to all go to the Panopticon together, with you all awakened and powerful after the journey. That was my plan. I'd be no match for Mike alone. That's why I needed your guys' strength. When you think about it, most of the way my intentions were the same as Mike's. We both wanted to awaken your special abilities.
Wait, so you decided to disobey Mike before the trip even began, huh?
Yeah. All the time I spent with you guys, how should I say it? I realized how amazing humans were.
Thank you, Pochi.
Eat up, Pochi! Looking forward to it, Pochi.
And that's what's so cute about you, Pochi.
Me and you, huh, Pochi?
We're the same! Huh, Pochi?
If you insist, I'll hold you to it.
Pochi, you're so kind.
I love your smile, Pochi.
The reason I thought that was because you guys still had your emotions. That's when I realized I had to stop Mike's plan at any cost.
But why didn't you tell us the truth before?
Well, for one, I didn't want Mike to find out. Mike said that it'd wipe out the human race if his plan failed.
No, but...
But aren't you spilling the beans right now?
Yeah. What if Mike hurt us?
Even if it did, it's no big deal. At this stage, I don't think Mike would be so quick to annihilate humanity. After all, it's gone to the trouble of awakening all your powers. That'd all be for nothing, right?
A shepherd is nothing without a flock. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
But
We've been saying we're gonna take down Mike.
If Mike somehow overheard us, at the very least, we'd lose the element of surprise. Mike must have some strong defenses set up.
And what does that have to do with anything? If we combine our strength, we'll definitely be able to take down Mike.
I doubt he'd have much defense up, because I wouldn't imagine that he thinks that there's much threat out there against him.
Yeah. We can win this.
Totally!
Let's win this thing together.
Together, we're invincible.
That scumbag Mike! We're gonna beat it into submission!
We're gonna crush it!
Just to make sure, we're gonna head to the Panopticon tomorrow, right?
Yeah. We should get a good night's sleep before the final battle. Final battle, huh?
Looks like we're in for a tough fight.
If we're not all in this together, it doesn't seem like we've got a chance.
I think we need a strong leader.
Pochi?
Didn't we already decide that?
That's Kansai's leader badge.
When I met Neon in Kyoto, I took the badge off, right?
And I kept it safe. I figured we'd be in trouble if we lost it.
I get what you're saying. So what?
You're the one who deserves to wear the badge, Pochi.
Huh?
Rachel saved our bacon time and time again. But
It was you controlling him all along.
In other words, we owe our lives to you, Pochi.
You're our hero, Mr. Pochi. Totally!
You're the only one who can lead us.
There's no one more qualified than you, Pochi.
How about it? You gonna accept the role?
Nah, we've already decided. He's got no right to refuse.
Guys,
Well then, you're now the leader of the Go-Getters Club. I present you with this badge.
Is he gonna get superpowers now?
Huh?
I hope so. Or is his head gonna spin round and round and round, steam coming out of his ears?
It's a gift for those times you saved us.
Mochan's not happy.
Did you guys just see that? She just kissed Pochi on the cheek!
You're right.
Yeah.
So shameful! Totally disgraceful.
what are you guys talking about? It's no big deal.
You say that, but look how much you're blushing.
Well, it's a little. You think so too, right, Mochan?
Oh yeah, Mochan. You like Nyoro, don't you?
Well, putting Mochan to one side.
hey! Don't do that!
Anyways, tomorrow is the big day. The day we take down Mike!
Hey, Kansai, what are you doing trying to wrap things up? Pochi's the leader now. We've literally just decided.
Oh yeah, I'm counting on you, Pochi.
Okay. Well then, here we go. Go-Getters Club.
Hey, hey, oh!
Well then, looks like we're nearly at the end. Is this going to be the proper end? I reckon it might be. Obviously we're going to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today, but we're heading to the Panopticon in the UFO, and I guess it's going to be the finale in the next one. It's a platforming section, yay, probably followed up by a boss fight with Mike, yay. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, thanks for watching, thanks for checking it out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.